And they come through and cross the line, and the commissaire tells us that the race is now live.
That's what I did with.
What will they do here? Emily can let Dave take the lead if he wants it. He is required at this point to at least ride at walking pace, but Dave can take the lead off if you like. He's just not allowed to force him to do it. Emily's putting a little bit of pressure there on Dave to force him up. A little bit more, just a little bit of a nudge.
It'll be you till the final.
As soon as Emily's crossed that pursuit line, she can stop if she wants, and if she can. And now just rolling a little bit past the hip. There's a slight lead, and Emily slows down, and it looks like she's trying to force Dave into the lead, but he's going to slow down as well to match it. And Dave makes a move. Emily's going to need to respond to that. Dave's classic move here is to go from a long way out and try and turn it into a pursuit. Emily's going to have to chase him if she wants to pull him back. She'll have the speed to do it. But Dave's picked hard. Here comes Emily around the corner. Remember that she is a 500 metre champion, and you can see the speed she's got there as she comes in. Dave's going to have a good second kick if he's to get her. Emily's now got herself into the draft, and she'll be patient. No, she comes around early. And Emily's just a bit too much speed there. Dave's claiming himself for the fly.
It should be three of us.
Now we've seen already today James Dan has a very good, very explosive jump. His acceleration from low speed is fantastic.
And then just go.
The riding against him is
That's what they used to do.
taking their lives in their hands if they keep the pace low, because he's got a great jump. Commissaire watching these two very closely. If there's to win this, he's going to need to do something pretty special, because James was about a second and a half faster in qualifying. A little bit of a hint there if Jamie wanted to take it to dive down and steal the lane, but at the moment it doesn't look like he wants it. I can't say I blame him. He wants a short sprint, I think. He makes a move and Jamie responds immediately and kicks around the outside, and you can see that acceleration that he's got. And he's jumped well clear with almost a lap to go. And Peter's chasing, but James's acceleration there, just too much. I don't think he's in any risk of doing a Chris Hoy. Those of you that saw the European Championships a few weeks ago, Chris Hoy, the fastest qualifier, rode a 9.9 flying 200, and he was matched up against a rider who rode an 11 seconds flying 200, who then beat him in the first. Sally qualified with a 17.5 and Alex with a 16.1. So about a second and a half between these two riders in Alex's favour. Sally certainly gave Dave Thomas the ride of his life not long ago. And we'll see how this one pans out. Alex, the quicker of the two. He's got good speed. Sally drives the pace up now. I know if I was racing against Alex, I'd be trying to keep it short and sharp and make it a game of acceleration. Sally now leading Alex out up around the corner. She'll get the bell now. 307 metres to go as they cross the line. Alex with a fairly comfortable sit at the moment on Sally's wheel. He'll just be biding his time and waiting for an opportunity to kick past. Usually up the back straight's not a bad place to do it, although he may wait for the finishing straight. Sally working pretty hard there, you can see, but Alex quite comfortable as he comes off the wheel now, just coming into turn 3 and just starts to lift. Can Sally hold him off? It's going to be a big ask for her to do it, but I think she may well. But Alex Vaughan just coming around the outside. Oh, I couldn't pick that with double disc wheels and all of the other fruit. He hasn't ridden that time for a while. So Alan on the inside. Steve in the Richmond Cycle Rig kit up high on his hip as they go past Jody on the video camera. Alan just tempting Steve into rolling past him, but Steve's not having anything to do with that at this point. So Bree is just starting to pick up a little bit now. I think of Straight Southerly as the pace starts to pick up a little bit there. Steve looking for an opportunity to dive underneath Alan, and he takes it, and then immediately hooks back up, not giving Alan the chance to latch onto the wheel. And that's probably where Steve wanted to be. I think he wants to lead this sprint out. Alan out of the saddle and looking for an opportunity to jump in by surprise, but Steve's keeping a wary eye on him at the moment. The question will be around the bottom corner, can Steve hold his line? Alan now makes the move and kicks the pace on. And Steve responds to it immediately. They're going to be shoulder to shoulder as they come into turn 3. And this is really going to put a bit of pressure on Steve, whose experience with this track is a little low, but he does hold the line nicely this time. And there's a bit of experience for you. A little bit of a drift there out of the lane, but I don't think it's going to be enough to affect the result. And he takes it to Chris Ray. Chris, with one of the fastest qualifying times we've seen at the Sprint Series ever, with a 12.137. That's right up there in the top 5 of times we've ever seen. And not only is he tremendously fast, but he's got a huge jump. Stu laying off a long way, trying to get a good run up at Chris. If you 3 or 4 bike lengths off the back, there's a little bit of a risk that the front rider can go, but it also means you can get a good run up them, and sure enough, that's what Stu's done, and he's moved through and taken the lead from Chris Ray. Chris now settling in onto his wheel. You can see the difference in cadence. Chris obviously riding a much smaller gear. Chris Ray moves up higher. Chris, they're pushing a much bigger gear than Stu. Stu makes a move from quite a reasonable way out. Chris has got a fairly comfortable sit on his wheel, and you can see the speed difference as they come down the back straight. Stu did this earlier, but now Chris is doing it. Stu trying to lift with a second kick, but Chris Ray just a bit too strong there as he comes around the corner. He can't quite come down into the lane there. Stu doing a very good job of holding him out, but Chris is going to be too fast. One of them gets prize money no matter what, and the other one gets nothing. Dino keeping Neil high. Just trying to get an idea of what gear they're on. Neil's been riding a pretty big gear all day. He's slowed down his jump a little bit. He's still pretty strong. Certainly giving him plenty of speed, although it didn't do an awful lot of good when he raced Stu Lucy earlier. It was a bit of an unwitting motorcycle lead-out for Stu in his heat earlier. Neil just trying to get a bit of pressure there on Dino, but just lifting the pace. Dino perhaps relying on his jump. Certainly not giving Neil the opportunity at the moment to dive underneath, although Neil's slowing down, trying to open up that door so he can dive underneath him and take the lane. And very warily watching Neil as they come round through turn 4. Will we get the reflex, the bell's rung, it's time to sprint, or will they wait even longer? Neil just starting to apply a bit more pressure. But Dino keeping Neil well boxed in at the moment. He hasn't got any opportunity to come underneath unless he slams the brakes on. This is a classic point for the Emily Appolito hook and dive, but Dino not doing it. Pace lifting. Neil makes the move from the outside and Dino responds by holding him up. Down in the lane now, side by side. Dino has the inside running into the last corner. It's going to be shoulder to shoulder around through turn 3. Dino's going to have to lift to hold Neil off, and it looks like he's just lifted through there with a shorter run through the corner. Then a little bit of a drift there out of the lane, and takes it by